be voted down, and if it is, I certainly hope that you will maybe do some kind of, you know, if kids want to do this, I don't know, just like a pilot program. I know that that might be hard to do, but I certainly hope that the kids that would like to do it would be allowed the opportunity, and maybe parents will speak up more. So my vote will be yes, with the majority of the ones that signed up.
Well, where are they?
I won't add a whole lot. I would just say that the best predictor of a positive outcome for a kid is a positive influence of an adult. I think the mentor program would have promoted that. I believe in that. I believe in the staff that we have here. I believe their influence, and then the opportunity for our kids to have more small group settings with our staff can only be positive. I also believe that additional classes would be a positive for our kids, and I also believe that helping in that transition with 6th grade would be a positive. So my vote would be yes. Thank you.
I don't want to be too repetitive here. There's been a lot of great comments, but I do just want to say that I find so many of the proposals associated with the campus model to be very exciting. I think that they generally support learners, and there's a lot of wonderful components in there. I truly am impressed with the 6th grade changes, and I hope that that's something that can move forward as soon as possible. However, I feel like we as a district also have a real history of rushing into great ideas before they are fully planned, and we have details for implementation, successful implementation. And that's what I fear happening here again. And so I definitely want this to continue. I love all of the discussion surrounding it. I hope people will continue to be engaged in that process. There are some things that I still have reservations about. Maybe I can be convinced otherwise, but I do have concerns about lunches in the classroom as a general rule. I mean, I think that maybe I just need to change my mindset on that, but I have some lingering concerns. But I think there's a lot of things that really could be great if we spend the time and continue to solicit input from the community, including the students, and come up with the best plan possible for our community so that we can see successful implementation. So right now we need more time and we need more input. So I will be voting no.
Thank you.
I'll be the last one to weigh in.
Well, it doesn't matter.
And the first thing I'd like to just put out there, because I think everything has been said and very much more elegantly than I'll be able to say it, but one thing that as we started this whole process, and it has made some really major changes that I think have been very exciting, showing that there's some flexibility. But I'm looking more at what is the success and the chance of success if we implement it right away. And I've been both in school and also in the private sector where I've seen great programs fall down, not because of lack of being a great program, but because of the implementation of it. I also would agree that with Rachel, that to see the community come out, whether you are on one side or the other, and come out and feel strongly about education in our school district I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I'm really, really impressed with that. But getting back to the successful rollout, I want this to be successful. I think that there are elements in it that are astounding. I think that there are some that are a little rough around the edges that still need some more review and some more input, both by the community and also with looking at research. So for tonight, I will be voting no.
Good man there, Greg. Okay.
It's not to say that the program and all the work that you did, I commend you three for all the work that you put into, but for your sake, I want this to be a success also, and I think that the best way to do that is to put it off until at least a year. Let's do a pilot. Let's kind of take parts of it,
make me so proud to
go through it, and go from there. Okay? So with that, is there anyone else that want to make additional comments?
Howie?
This is broken, super quick. My son asks, because I don't let him get to speak at any of the public events because I can't filter him from way back.
That's okay.
When he was at the campus meeting at the auditorium and they were talking about surveying the kids and surveying the kids, he kept saying, why didn't they just ask us this? The bare, simple question of how would you feel about this? So I think when we look at getting feedback from students, for kids like my son, you gotta be as black and white, bare bone, this is where we're going forward. And I think that'll help, because he did pull some things away from it that he liked, although he thinks that he's going to be playing basketball for an hour with his close group of friends, because they're going to be the only ones that pick his group, and that's going to happen all day in the middle of the school year. So break it down for the kids that have butterflies in their heads all day like my son does, and just simple questions. Just his request, I told him I would, and I forgot.
With that said,
How are we gonna deal with the toy situation? What's the consequence?
let's call the vote.
Erdman,
Yeah, hold on.
Come on now, you said no a minute ago.
We're voting to not approve, yeah. I don't approve it now.
Good man, good man.
Sekelic,
No.
Murray,
Yes.
Of course.
England,
Yes.
Wolf,
No.
Heckman,
No.
Sell,
No.
Gray,
No.
Klein,
No.
2 yes, 7 no, motion denied.
Can we change the letterheads back? Can the letterheads be changed
On
back?
to
Sorry.
10.2 resignations.
Let's
I
change
make
the
a
letterheads.
motion to accept the following resignations. Accept the resignation of Marlon Kegris, high school custodian, effective June 30th, 2018.
Got to get rid of them, expose them.
Accept the resignation of Keith Kemmerlin, technology assistant, effective April 27th, 2018, for other employment.
On a roll here. We gotta get them out.
Discussion? Call the vote.
Sekelic, Murray,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Go on.
Heckman, Sell,
Gotta
Yes.
still
Gray,
expose them.
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
all in favor, motion passed.
I would be too.
10.3, I make a motion to approve the CTC budget for 2018-19.
Bad coat.
Second?
Discussion?
Got them running.
I'll just say a couple of things since I'm the CTC rep. So they're asking for a 2.83% increase, most like the rest of our districts. 79% goes to their employees. They're budgeting a 3% PSERS increase and a 3% increase in their salaries. Another big hit they're getting is a 10% increase in their health insurance. They're in the same boat like the rest of us, and those are the primary drivers of the
Did
increase.
his research about the lawsuit. He admitted that
Call the vote.
he don't care.
Murray,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Heckman, Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sekelic, all in favor, motion passed.
One more thing. Everybody should have one of these ballots. Please return them to Pat.
Give me,
before
I need one
we
for my
leave today.
file.
10.4, I make a motion to approve the Northern Lebanon School District Administration to post and hire 3 new special education teacher positions for the 18-19 school year. These positions will provide emotional support and learning support services at the elementary and middle school levels in the district.
Discussion? Call the vote.
England,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Heckman,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sekelic, Murray,
Yes.
all in favor, motion passed.
10.5, I make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with .com Therapy for contracted services and language services to include direct student services, consultation services, screenings and evaluations, IEP input, completion of written reports, and data collection from April 1st to June 8th, 2018 at a rate of $75 an hour. This is for a teacher on parental leave.
Second.
Discussion?
I actually might have asked this last week, but is this the service that is done via the computer? Like no one's face-to-face with the kids?
I believe that is.
Oh.
Were parents notified of this with the IEP? Because my son, they did this to me, I actually remember speaking at a board meeting for it. He had an IEP and I was not made aware that he was not going to be getting the one-on-one, and I wasn't given the chance to say I needed that or not. So are parents being...
Without Mr. Skosny, I cannot answer that.
They are not.
Unfortunately, he took a medical right at the last moment. He went home sick today.
Imagine that.
So I don't have the information for that. I'm sorry. What I can tell you is that if it's in the IEP, we're going to abide by the IEP because it's law.
Do IEPs say specifically must be done in person?
It would depend on the IEP. Each one's individualized.
Ours was, it was a basic, just as a warning, because I know that we're still using IEPs from the past.
Right.
It was a basic already written in there, so that's the only reason I'm saying this.
If it's in the IEP, it has to be person to person, it has to be.
Anything else? If not, call the vote.
Wolf,
Yes.
Heckman,
No.
Sell? No.
Gray,
I'll say no.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
No.
McCulloch,
No.
Murray,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
five no, 4 yes. Motion denied.
10.6, I make a motion to approve a general agreement with the Vista School private academic program to provide school-based educational services for 6 Northern Lebanon School District students placed in the Vista School's 2018 ESY program for a tuition cost of $43,896.
Second?
Discussion? Call the vote.
Heckman,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
McCulloch, Murray,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
all in favor, motion passed.
President, may I just go back and make sure the board has an understanding on item 10.5? As I understand the motion, it has nothing to do with whether these services are provided to students. It's how the district is going to provide those services where it's in a student's IEP. So apparently, these are services that the district is obligated to provide pursuant to IEPs. So you have to provide the service. Looking at the last sentence of the motion, it says this is for a teacher on parental leave. So if you're not going to provide the services through professional services as recommended by the administration, how are you going to provide those services that, if I'm reading between the lines, are already included in students' IEPs? Again, your vote was not whether to include the service in IEPs. It's how are you going to provide the service?
No, and I know that. I'm just saying,
So you
in an IEP, there is a specific, and I know we're getting to that personal level, but the speech therapist is a part of the IEP team. In there, they're putting input, they're checking with the student, they're gathering the data, they're doing all of that information. So when you switch to an online service, there are parts that are no longer capable of being done by the online service. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that we needed to take those steps till it's understood. And if we haven't taken those steps yet, that's where I have the concern.
Well, this is, I just want to make sure the board understands, the motion is for services from April 1 through June 8. So,
Come on, dude, you're pissing up a tree here. Don't be mad, you know, don't be mad.
Again, it's not the most ideal situation, but just so everyone knows, those services are ongoing. We have students that are receiving speech hours to do that. We didn't have, there were no applications, there were no candidates for that.
Does the IU not provide any modules for that?
This type of service is always a last resort. And we were out for a long time looking for somebody, but it's hard to find somebody who's looking for 3 months of work. And that's what this was. And the IEP, Mr. Scozen would guarantee the IEP is being met. Is it ideal? We would love to have a person. But we have to have this to meet the IEP.
I'd love to have the campus too.
We didn't get the parents' input.
Where's Robert at? We need the rules.
I simply want to, I wanted to point that out, if under Robert's rules, because the motion has been defeated, if someone who voted to defeat the motion wished to make a motion to have it revisited, that could occur, but it would have to be someone who voted to defeat the motion.
I'll put the motion back out there, but I just want to just clarify as a parent and as a school board, since this has already happened, I understand how difficult getting speech therapists are. I've gone through a ton of them myself, but I know the IU, I would be interested to find out where the IU stood in that, but Ed's not here, so we can't, Mr. Scozen's not here, so we can't ask that question. I think I'm just hoping for a little bit more communication with any of the special ed changes, because to a parent with a kid who has severe structure, that can set parents back and families back, and they don't even know it's coming because they didn't realize there was that change in the day. So that's, but I don't know how we reword it to motion it. If somebody wants to second it, we can revote it.
Well, if I understand the motion, it would be to rescind and revote on that motion.
But
and so the first vote would be to rescind the prior vote.
I rescind to.
You move to rescind the prior vote on item 10.5.
I said that motion prior.
I second it, and Mr. Rizzo's explanation helped greatly. I was under the assumption that we were replacing a teacher with something online, so I appreciate your wisdom that you actually did try to find a teacher. Guess I should have asked that, but yeah, that's all right. But I second it.
Can I give input? Mm-hmm. My concern and my vote for no with this was, this is something that had been discussed previously, and it's been some time, and I think Director Sekelic does remember that. And I definitely have a concern offering therapy to our students in this capacity. I definitely do not think it's best practice, and I'm concerned that while I do understand that this is a short time frame, I just can't support something that I don't feel like is best practice. And possibly having information in regard to services or the I can't think of the word, no availability from the IU could have possibly changed my vote on this particular item considering the time frame, but my vote will stand no.
Can I ask why it wasn't voted on last time? When I'm looking at the dates, it started April 1st. I'm sorry, my mind.
Oh, you're good.
My fear is if we don't vote for it, what are we doing between now and June 8th? And I think that if I'm correct, that's kind of how Howard is expressing this, that by not voting for it, we're basically saying we're not covering those services. I mean, they would probably have to stop where they're at because it's not board approved. And that would be my fear. I want to just make it clear. I don't like the practices. I don't know why we didn't discuss it.
Can we have assurance as a board that this is communicated in writing to the parents?
Yes, of course. Of course.
And in the future?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, promise the world.
Okay, any other discussion?
Dr. Bensel, did you mean that you're going to send letters out now to those families, or there have previously been letters sent out to those families?
I will speak with Mr. Scozen tomorrow morning
And send
and
an email.
ascertain if parents were contacted. If parents weren't contacted, then those contacts will be made. We're assuming they weren't made, and I don't think that's a correct assumption. I need to ask the question first, and if for some reason the parents weren't contacted, which I find very unlikely, we will make those contacts.
No one was contacted.
So just to clarify, the motion that's on the table is to rescind the prior vote on item 10.5. So vote yes would be to rescind the prior vote.
Okay, call a vote.
Wolf,
Yes.
Heckman,
No.
Sal,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sekelic,
Yes.
Murray,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no, motion passed.
So then the next step, if someone wished to, would be to make a motion for 10.5 again, because the prior vote was rescinded. And be better if that motion was made by someone who had voted no previously. I don't think that's required under Robert's rules, but I think it would be preferable.
How about you follow?
I make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with .com as stated in the agenda.
Second.
Discussion? Call the vote.
Sal,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sekelic,
Yes.
Murray,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Heckman,
No.
1 no, 7 yes, motion passed.
Lori, it's 8-1. I believe we are now on 10.7, this summer 2018 ESY school year. I make a motion to approve the following teachers to provide instructional services for the 2018 summer extended school year program for approximately 25 to 30 Northern Lebanon school district students at a rate of $26 or $35 per hour per contract.
Discussion?
You ain't got to tell me.
Call the vote.
You see the side of that?
Klein,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sekelic,
Yes.
Murray, England,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Heckman,
Yes.
Sal,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
all in favor, motion passed.
10.8, I make a motion to approve the following staff listed in your agenda as instructional aides and PCAs to provide instructional services
Good
and
night, ladies.
support
Drive
for the
safe.
2018 summer ESY program for approximately 25 to 30 Northern Lebanon School District students at a rate equal to the employee's current hourly rate